Extraction 2 is out on Netflix and it is a sequel to 2020's Extraction, which is a film I really like. I think it has jaw-dropping action choreography, excellent stunt work, and a really tight story. So naturally, I was looking forward to Extraction 2, and my goodness, does it deliver! Extraction 2 is a fantastic action movie. There are so many things to love about this film, especially if you're an action movie fan. I am definitely one, and I completely enjoyed the experience. If there is one major thing that we really need to talk about here, it is the 21-minute single take action sequence, which is absolutely stunning and breathtaking. What Sam Hargrave and his entire team pulled off here is nothing short of a masterpiece when it comes to the action. The single take starts from the inside of a jail where Tyler Rake, the protagonist, is trying to break out a family. And the way it escalates and elevates the stakes as the scene goes through tells a story within itself. The hand to hand combat is beautifully handled, and all of these actors give in fantastic physical performances. It is not an easy task to pull off a single take action sequence, and more so, it's not an easy task to pull off a single take action sequence that features such amazing stunt choreography that pays attention to detail, that pays attention to the movements of characters, and everything is in sync. All of these actors are in sync, and that takes a lot of effort, and you can clearly see all of that hard work paying off as you watch this exhilarating 21-minute sequence, which is intense, exciting, and totally entertaining. I absolutely love that portion of the film, and it is just one of the better action sequences I've seen in a long time. The film, in its essence, has three basic action set pieces in total. The first one is the 21-minute sequence I mentioned. The second one is this fantastic action sequence that takes place in a building, and I really enjoyed that sequence. I thought it was fairly generic and cliched. We've seen stuff like that before, but I really enjoyed how they utilized the objects and the surroundings as a part of the action. And this has been done by other films, namely John Wick or the Bourne movies, but it was again utilized in a very interesting fashion here. I mean, they use a treadmill at one point, which was which was quite exciting. I really enjoyed the way they did that, and the entire building sequence was extremely well choreographed, and it had some thrilling moments. And the final action set piece is this one that takes place within an abandoned church. I wouldn't straight up call this like a huge action set piece. Rather, this feels a little bit more intimate because it takes place between Tyler and the villain. And the villain actually has a personal agenda against Tyler. And so it feels a little bit more intimate. They do certain things with nails and hammers in that sequence, which was quite violent, but it was entertaining nonetheless. So all of the action sequences throughout Extraction 2 deliver, and I think that is the main reason why you even need to watch this film. I wasn't expecting more than that walking into the film. I was expecting a decent enough story that propels these action sequences and really stunning action sequences, and I got exactly that. So I'm extremely happy that the film delivered. Talking about the story, it's a very simple story. Tyler Rake gets a mission. He has to break this family out of a prison, and that has consequences. That's pretty much the basic story. It's very simple, but again, it doesn't even try to be more than that. It has a simple story. It uses that as a vehicle for displaying these amazing action set pieces, and so the story does its job. If there's one more thing I really enjoyed about the film, it was the character of Tyler itself. They give him a lot more to care for in the sequel, and I really enjoyed his character. I mean, of course, Chris Hemsworth is a great presence, and he brings a lot of physicality into his role, but even in the quieter moments, he puts forward a really good performance, and they did explore a lot more of Tyler's past, and the dynamic between him and his ex-wife, I thought was really well done. It on the whole, it was a very satisfying character story in terms of Tyler Rake, and I really enjoyed that. They put a genuine effort into making us care for this character, and I would say it paid off. Also, the villain of the story was much more interesting than the villain of the previous film because he had a personal agenda as to why he was doing things, but more so than that, I think they do enough to at least make the character intimidating and actually feel like a worthy opponent to Tyler. He wasn't a villain that you think Tyler could easily beat up. He was a worthy opponent, and one that, I mean, to actually see the showdown at the end, it feels that Tyler has to put in effort to kind of take down the villain. So, in that sense, the villain did work. He wasn't great or memorable by any means, but he was a villain that worked well enough within the constraints of the story. So, I really enjoyed that. All of the performances are really fun, and all of the side characters too aren't annoying. They are there and they are fun characters. Especially the character called Nick, played by Golshifteh Farhani, is a very enjoyable character, and so is this character called Yaz. Both of these characters were really fun and they do some really badass stuff. So it's great to watch them in action sequences, throwing out one-liners which are really cheesy but they really work within the action genre. So that was great. And what else? I mean, I really don't need to say anything else about Extraction 2. I think it had one job, that is to provide excellent action sequences and a story that is at the base minimum decent, and it does that. As an action movie lover, I could not have been more satisfied with Extraction 2, and I really wish they released this in theaters, like properly, because watching these action set pieces on the big screen would have been fantastic. But anyways, I really hope that you guys stream this one. With all of that said, I'm going to give Extraction 2 a 3.75 out of 5. So that was my take on Extraction 2. What did you guys think about it? And which one do you like better, Extraction or Extraction 2? Me personally, I think I like this one a little better because I personally thought the action set pieces were much more grander and bigger in scale. At least that's my preference of action movies. I felt this was a little bit more epic than the first one. So anyways, please do let me know down in the comments. Thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate it. Keep enjoying movies and I'll see you again.